welcome back. This is Nurturing Moms. My name is Shiro. I got a question from a mom who asked, should I wake my baby up to feed? I have a newborn and they sleep really long and can even sleep for 10 hours. Do I need to wake her up? And how often? What is the interval? Is it every 2 hours? Is it every 3 hours? Is it 2 hours after they slept or 2 hours after their last feed? It is so confusing, moms, I know. So the first question I'll answer, should I let my baby sleep and wake up when they are ready to feed, or should I wake them up? When you have a newborn, so let's say this is the first month of their life, you've got to wake them up. The reason you have to do this is, remember, when they were born, chances are by the time they were discharged from hospital, their weight had changed. And most times the weight reduces. Expect your baby to lose 7 to 10% of their birth weight after they have been discharged from hospital. So if your baby was born at 3.500 kg and then they're being discharged, the baby is 3.1, it's absolutely normal. So when you're discharged home, one of the goals for a mom and her baby is that the baby needs to put on the birth weight that they had lost, okay? So at least within the 2 weeks, when you get to the 2 weeks visit, your baby should be back to 3.5 and above. So guess what? If you're gonna let your baby to sleep for 10 hours, they are not going to put on that weight. They're actually going to continue reducing the weight. So please wake your babies up. Now the 2 hour, 3 hour interval can be very confusing. If your baby was born premature and continues to lose weight every time you go, I would say feed your baby every 2 to 3 hours max, and you use this formula. If your baby woke up at 3 p.m., fed at 3, and they slept maybe at 4, you will still wake them up at 6 o'clock, 3 hours since the first feed, the first time they fed, so that they have a good interval of feeds and you're ensuring they're putting on weight. Now, this also ensures your breast milk increases. Remember, it's demand supply. I've done so many videos on breastfeeding. The more you demand from your breast, which is a factory, milk making factory, the more your breast will supply, because hey, there's a high demand, so let's continue supplying this baby with milk. So it does help with your milk supply. Another thing it does help with is to clear jaundice. I've also done a video on jaundice. You can go back and look for it and watch it. And I said one of the ways to clear jaundice, other than the sunlight exposure, is continue to breastfeed your baby and ensure they're getting enough breast milk. So you will wake your baby up to feed. Do not. And sometimes moms are like, oh, I have such a nice baby. They can sleep for 10 hours. And I know for moms, you get tired. I know. Even me, I've been there. You get tired and you're like, oh, my baby's peaceful. They're asleep. All I want is for them to just continue sleeping so I can sleep and rest and do what I need to do. But guess what? Wake them up. How do you wake them up? Maybe if you had swaddled them, unswaddle them, softly talk to them, touch their hands, touch their feet, touch their face, and then they start to wake up, okay? Sometimes if you start to maybe touch their tummies and their back, you're gently waking them up. Don't be too rough, make noise and things, just gently, just the same way you'd like to be woken up. Quietly do that. Then feed your baby. If they're ready to go back to sleep after 30-40 minutes of breastfeeding, let them sleep and then give them that 2 to 3 hour interval. But please do not let your baby go over 10 hours of sleep. Now, when it comes to this of demand and supply, remember after 2 weeks, we need to have gained weight. If we haven't, continue feeding them and waking them up to feed. When you do the demand feeding is when your baby's weight is good, they're putting on weight well, so you wait for them to arouse and demand a feed. Remember, the last sign that your baby is hungry is them crying. So you need to know, how do they communicate that I'm hungry. I've done a video on that also, so go back and watch that. But crying is the last sign that your baby is hungry. So please don't let your baby sleep for too long. Wake them up, feed them, and then you can help them back to sleep. But 10 hours of not feeding is too long. I hope I've answered your questions. And if you found this of value, of course, Shiro always says, share, so that other moms can get the same information and get that, to get to know how long is long for their baby not having enough to eat. Shiro is here to support you, to educate you, and to empower you. Thank you so much for watching Nurturing Moms, and thank you for the stories you share with me, the questions you ask me. My contact details are below. Continue asking me, calling me, and texting me, and I'll be happy to get back to you.